If you're ready, I'm ready. Joel, welcome and thank you for being generous enough to share your time. The topic is digital marketing. So we're really interested in being able to drill you on a few of these points of tactics and approaches to market. But firstly, can you tell us a bit about yourself? Why entrepreneurship for you? Was it a family influence or?
Yeah, I dare say that, the age-old question is entrepreneurship born or is it taught? Today I'm going to say it was born. I come from a family where my dad has been quite entrepreneurial his whole life. My first job was a cleaning contract because I could make $30 an hour, not $5 an hour delivering papers. My dad is just recently retired and he's turned over $100,000 last year removing BlackBerry, right? So I often try and compete with him to see who can make the most money in the same day. He's making more money than me, even in the consulting space. So I would say the family influences has led me to picking entrepreneurship as a career. And I kind of fall into that entrepreneurship category because for my 20 years of working life, I've provided for myself for about 17 of those years. So, so I had a real job for 3 years and I've picked my own fruit for 17 years. So,
Congratulations. That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, so I'm probably about a month off making my first 100 million, but no, I'm just kidding. So it's been fun the whole time. So to me, like I haven't bought the Tesla yet, but every year, every time I try something new, I'm getting stronger and faster. So yeah.
And Joel, you're fresh off the back of doing a stint with the Thankyou Group, who we know are a runaway success with certain categories. And I wonder if you can share one of your favourite success stories of kicking the doors in on growth and market penetration with that brand.
Yeah, Thankyou was the dream job. It had an absolutely brilliant culture. It was 100% focused on creating impact. So there was no owners. Everything that we made went to a project that corresponded with the group of product that we were selling. We were a bunch of rookies, so I had no experience to the industry, but just had a hunger to deliver the growth that they were already achieving. And this was a really good place just to practice lean startup principles. So often we would sell an idea, not a product. We would sell. We didn't hold any stock most of the time. We worked with manufacturers and the industry best providers to get products to market. And every single touch point, we applied a different philosophy to doing it, only because we didn't know the way that it should be done. So we would look at a problem, we didn't know the answer, but we created a solution. And time again, we got results that our competitors weren't getting just through purely being rookies in the industry. One of the greatest achievements was the baby range that we launched. So I think from idea to shelf was around the 9 to 10 month mark. And we launched a range of nappies and baby care products. And we worked with the best manufacturers from around the world. We found a retailer that would support it. We invested it with marketing, with our support. And we got a market-leading range into Coles and Woolworths. We very quickly got 10% market share. And there's still challenges in that business, but it was a great launch. It was really awesome to be a part of that. So yeah,
fantastic. And Joel, you've moved on, so you've got a new venture now, Narrative Lab, and digital marketing is central to your sales approach. How have you done it?
I think within digital marketing, there's what you get on your Facebook feed from people marketing digital marketing to you, and then there's the reality. So it's actually, for us, it's a lot harder than it appears, and it takes up a lot of money as well, and a lot of time, a lot of effort.
And sorry to clarify, that is your strategy. It's just digital marketing in terms of reaching customers and...
We do a bit of both. So digital marketing for online sales, and then because they're still growing, I'm still hitting the pavement to try and sell into boutique retailers.
Yeah.
But we run two P&Ls. So we run a P&L for online, so we know what we're spending and making from online, and then we run a P&L for our wholesale business. So if you ask me, is it working? It depends on what day of the week it is. Some days I'm like, that's it, turn online off. It's a sham. And then other days I'm like, oh my gosh, we've cracked it. This is the magic formula. So yeah, relying on digital is hard. I think the web is so big. The moment that you launch your website, no one's going to find it unless you pay for them to turn up to the website. We'll run through, let me know when you want to run through some funnel numbers, but there's some arbitrary fundamental numbers of how many people you can get to your site, how much it costs, and how much margin you've got, which can pretty much guarantee if you're going to be successful before you even launch.
Can you do that now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I've not only found this out via trying, but I've also talked to probably 5 or 6 agencies that will tell you the same thing. So when you're ready, you'll probably hear it. But the basic fundamentals is you need a big margin, and you need to understand your customer acquisition costs. So generically, it costs 60 cents per person to your website. So through Instagram or Facebook, you'll spend 60 cents per person to come off Facebook and onto your website. So if we put that in round numbers, it's going to cost $60 per 100 people to rock up to your website. And they just, like, the moment you're not paying it, they're not going to rock up. No one just wanders around the internet anymore. You just can't do it, right? So you're spending $60 per 100. So then you need to make sure, if your conversion rate of that 100 people is 1%, it's obviously costing you $60 per sale to make a sale. So I hope you guys all have products that make more than $60 per sale, $60 profit per sale, if that makes sense. So if your product is $100 and you're running at obviously a 60% margin, you're sweet, you broke even, and you can decide to tip more money in and do that. If you're only making $50 per 100 profit, you've now lost $10. So you need to make a decision as to whether you proceed or whether you don't, whether you try to improve your rates or not. The average page will convert 1% of traffic. The best ones will convert 4%. So you've got to find your sweet spot within 1, 2, 3, or 4% of traffic that you can convert. So the tips there is, one agency said, look, the special formula for breaking through online is an average basket size of $150 and a conversion rate of around 3%. And an average margin of around 70 to 80%. So if you quickly unpack those numbers, it means you can spend about $60 to $70 acquiring a customer and still make an amazing amount of profit. And the moment you hit that level, you could tip in 10,000, you could tip in 100,000, and still get the return on top of that. So I mean, we're having real challenges within narrative. So even at $99 per sale, the basket size is just under that. I wish it was 150, right? So this is an interesting thing. I wish it was 150 because once you take out fundamental costs like merchant fees and shipping, at $100, it's touch and go on the viability level. But if it was at $150, we'd be well and truly like through the gauntlet of digital marketing. So yeah, it's a real challenge to sell anything under $100. But then again, like I've met people that are selling $5,000 courses. They're happy to spend $4,500 on digital marketing to sell that course because the delivery of the course doesn't cost anything, right? So it's all proportionate to what you're doing. My advice is around consumer products. That's like what I told you there is more about products and widgets. But if you're selling services and time, your metrics are a little bit different, but you've still got to have a think about the gauntlet. So, yeah.
Joel, your top 5. What would you share with us in terms of digital marketing and sales?
Digital marketing. So, top 5 is I would probably engage like a professional. So, who here has like a Facebook marketing account? Has anyone opened that back end and had a look at it? You guys had a look? Yeah. It's pretty complicated, right? So I can tip in $1,000 and try and place ads. Now, if I pay a professional to place that $1,000 worth of ads, I've already noticed I get a better return. I don't know how to drive that back end. It's got so many bells and whistles and segmentations and groups and geotags, and you program it wrong and you burn your money on the wrong ad. And it's only 3 days later where you go, okay, that was the wrong target, the wrong set. So I do like have a go for yourself, but it is good to get someone with some knowledge in the back end to program your ads. 2, set them really short and sharp. Like within $50 to $100, you can figure out whether that ad set is going to work. So my advice is to place like 10 really different ads over 3 days and stop and measure and then go again. So you might get 3 that worked. So yeah, go like place ads, get out. Be constantly measuring. So all the best guys that I'm working with at the moment on the consulting side know their ROI on every single ad ever placed. Spreadsheets, 40 lines long. They know what time of day to place them. They know, like, the science behind it is unbelievable. I think we, in narrative, let ourselves down going, did we place it? Is it live? What's going on? Is it back? What's some other ones? Also, just collaborating within the industry, like getting to many events and trying to figure out what other people are doing.
Share information, try and crack the code.
I think you got to live in and breathe it. It does change every day. So there's apparently the way that they rate ads and the way that they get to the top does change. So the more friends you can have in the business that are learning, you can share, hey, I've just noticed that we need to do more video and the video needs to be supported by this. So yeah, get out and do that. And then also look at all the platforms. Like YouTube is really undervalued at the moment, and LinkedIn is extremely undervalued at the moment as a platform. And even me as a professional would spend more time on LinkedIn than I do on Facebook at the moment.
Yeah.
Right? And I actually just enjoy the articles and enjoy looking at it. So yeah.
Joe, we've got 1 minute left. What would you do differently? If you had your time again, what would you tweak with narrative?
With narrative, I think my expectation, so the idea that somehow I thought you would place an ad and that you would reap the benefit within 24 hours or the week or maybe within the fortnight, right? I found a massive lag in what we do where we spend the money and our customer acquisition may take 8 to 12 weeks. So you can literally go through a month where you've spent more than you've sold.
Wow.
Not the funnest little month. But then the sales do turn up the next month and you're like, we've done it. So I think the lag thing is real. So you may spend $5,000 in a month and get 0 sales, but you might get 20 the next.
Joel, thank you very much. You've been very open and very generous with your sharing, and I'm sure as an audience we're all wiser for it, so we appreciate your time.
Cool.
Thanks so much.